In wine, there is wisdom. In beer, there is freedom. In water, there's bacteria. Benjamin Franklin. Bonjour, my name is David DeVere. I'm a wine educator and traveler, and you're watching Savvy Nomad TV. This is day 15 of the Costco 2023 24 days around the world in wine. That's a lot of numbers. So let's get straight to the wine. The box is looking pretty ragged and the wines are falling down and falling out, but we're going to continue to punch holes in this thing because it's a game and we're playing it together. Oh dear. This really isn't looking good. All right, well there's 15. The wine's here being held up by 17 below it. And Montepulciano di Abruzzo. We had this one last year. Same label, I think. Okay, let's talk about it. Learning about wine and drinking wine allows me to explore two of my other passions in life, geography and history, because each bottle of wine represents a place, a time, and sometimes there's stories linked to that, historic reference points, history, or traditions that maybe you didn't know about. This bottle of Montepulciano di Abruzzo is a good example of that. Why? Because Montepulciano di Abruzzo is the grape variety, and Montepulciano di Abruzzo is also the region. If you didn't know either one of those, you would be a little bit lost. Of course, you can turn to the internet to Google it, but I find books to be a nice thing to have around, and good, well-written reference books are very important. So, I have mentioned this book before, Wine Grapes by Jancis Robinson. Now, this book is pretty much the gold standard on everything a grape variety could ever be. There's more than you ever wanted to know about wine grapes inside of this. So that would tell you that Montepulciano di Abruzzo, where it comes from, who makes it, and why. But if you then learn that that's the grape variety, you might not know where in Italy it comes from. It says Italy on the bottle. What do? You turn to an atlas. Everybody should have an atlas. I've got an atlas specifically for wine, and this is also very useful. Hugh Johnson, Jancis Robinson. She also wrote Wine Grapes over here. Go to the index in the back of the atlas, look up Montepulciano di Abruzzo. I used the very convenient red marker ribbon. Leads us here to central Italy, and we learn that Montepulciano di Abruzzo is in the Abruzzo region of Italy on the east coast of central Italy, almost directly across, but a little bit north of Rome. And that's where the wines come from. The Italians, for their effort, have put DOC on here, which is Denominazione Origine Controllata, meaning that the government, and there's this tax label along the top here, you might recognize these on a lot of Italian wines because this is a symbol or an indication that the government thinks that this wine is going to be certified from this area, meaning it's really a little bit higher quality than just basic Italian table wine. So it has this tax label and it says Denominazione Origine Controllata on it. Okay, history, geography, and wine, completely linked together. Well, let's open up this bottle and give it a taste. Okay, let's open the wine, but before we do, of course, you want to fill out the top of your tasting card or journal. I am continuing to get the labels off. They are coming off nicely. Here is the red hook from Bulgaria. Here is the tasting note for the white blend from Portugal. And then there's actually a wine in here that I had with lunch yesterday, which was a Old Vine Zinfandel from California. We paired that with teriyaki pork rice bowl. And wow, that was fantastic. Okay, on to today. Links in the description for free version of the tasting card or to the bound journal that you can get online from Amazon. All right, moving right along. Open up this bottle. Montepulciano di Abruzzos should be relatively inexpensive. There was a very common one that was you could get. It had a little twig of vine on it. My friend Jane used to call it stick wine, and those used to be around. You can get them around $10, 13 to 8 on sale. I think they're a little more now, but this is an inexpensive, good example of what Italian wines can be. They're generally food friendly and, inexpensive and nice. I mean, I had this Montepulciano di Abruzzo one time with a hearty soup and big, crusty loaf of bread on a cool fall, wet day. Oh, what a lovely lunch that was. Okay, let's see if this example stands up to its predecessors, to its name. Looking at the color, I am going to say garnet. And aroma. Smells pretty good. I get red berries, maybe some plum, maybe a little bit of vanilla, chocolate, and vanilla. Yep. Smells nice. All right, let's work our way around the chart. Citrus, no. Red fruits, yes. Orchard fruits, yes. Tropical fruits, no. Flowers, maybe slight. Vegetable and herbs, no. Roasted, yes. Earthy, yes. Do I notice any faults? No. Okay, that was quick. Let's taste it. Okay. Dry or sweet? It is dry, so low sweetness. Acidity, gotta let it happen. Yep, medium high acidity. So I'm marking pronounced. Tannins, that's that drying sensation. This is kind of a tannic wine. It's not plush. It doesn't have real big, soft mouthfeel. It's got a grippy, tannic mouthfeel. So I'm marking pronounced for that as well. Alcohol, no burn. That's just fine. It's warming though, so I do notice it. So I'll go slight. Come back to preference. Body, I'm going to take another taste. Medium body. Balance is okay. The tannins are a little over grippy. Complexity, do I get any additional flavors? Not really. It's a little bit watery on the finish. So slight, and the finish is slight too. The grippiness is still there, but the finish isn't particularly unctuous, long, or adding to the sensation. Appearance, 3. Bouquet, I'll give it a 4. Taste, it's a little bit bland. Slightly. I'm just looking at my glass here for a second. And I do notice a little bit of tartaric crystals on the edge. So that's interesting because Um, cream of tartar, which is used by bakers, is literally a tartaric acid. It gets precipitated out of wine and it can show up as crystals. Usually it comes, you can see it at the bottom of a white wine glass, but you can get it in red wines too. So it, it means nothing. I just got distracted. But that's interesting that I saw those. Anyway, back to taste. I'll give it 3 points, right in the middle. It's fine. It's okay. It would probably go great with hearty bread and soup. Finish, 1 point. Impression, it's an okay impression. I'll give it 1 point, and we'll go back here to preference. I'll mark slight. All right, tartaric crystals. That was an interesting side swipe or aside. I'm going to go do my math and make my shape. I'll be back. Normally, tartaric crystals look like almost like a broken bottle in the bottom of a wine bottle. They will collect down there and they look like broken glass or shards. They're completely harmless and really tasteless. It's just the wine changing in the bottle and the crystals precipitate out of the wine itself. Interesting to find that here in this wine. I don't really see it at the bottom. I might have to wait till we get to the bottom of the bottle, but I did notice it here on the lip, and you can actually kind of feel them. Did you have that? Did you notice that in your example of Montepulciano di Abruzzo? Leave me a comment down below. Okay, here are my final scores for this wine. It scored a 12, which is just inside of good. I think this is a fair example of Montepulciano di Abruzzo. I've had quite a few of these wines over the number of years, and their better examples are a little more unctuous, a little more flavorful, a little deeper in color, a little bigger in body, a little more everything than this one. This one was fine, but you know, full-on commercial examples are a little bit more than this. Looking at the flavor profile, which is here, you can see it almost looks like a guy doing jumping jacks. That's interesting. I think that the flavor is good, but it's a little bit muted. If it was, again, a different example that was higher quality, you might see that flavor profile be bigger, more intense. And of course, that's what this thing's doing. It's kind of showing grades of intensity, low to really intense on the outside. Okay, that's all I've got for you today. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. We're more than halfway through the box now. So how are you doing? Are you keeping up? Are you following along months and months behind? Of course, you can. You don't need to drink this on the 15th of December. You can drink it whenever you want. Okay, that's all I've got for you. Until tomorrow, until day 16, I say a tutelare and cheers.
Hi. Ooh, Italian red. Okay. Looks pretty dark. Nice pretty cranberry color. Ooh, lots of aromas. Fruity. For me, mostly fruity. Let's give it a little sip here. Got some after flavors that are less fruity. A little bit tannic, but not a whole lot. Somewhat acidic in that my mouth is watering. It's burning a little, tiny bit of heartburn, but I think it would go pretty good with some food. Cheers!